the creator and leader of the Twisted Metal tournaments. He can grant any wish that the winner desires, even the most ridiculous ones.
You've snatched every soul on the planet but mine. Now you want my soul? Your wish is granted.
Will there ever be another tournament again? Well, let's find out as we hop in our vehicles and sign up as a contender to enter the story of Twisted Metal's host, known only as Calypso. Since some video games have a different variation and story of Calypso, I will go in order of each video game's release date. You may decide which version is canonical, but I would consider the 2012 Twisted Metal and the connected video games with it to be canon. If you want a more in-depth look into the timeline, then I suggest checking out Tactical Bacon Productions' video on it. Link to the video will be in the description. Now let's begin. Born around 1957, Calypso's real name was William Sparks. At 12 years old, he stole his parents' car and accidentally ran over his sister's head. His parents made him clean up the bloodstained driveway. 2 years after her death, William was ridden with guilt and wanted to join his sister. He blinded his father as he was driving, but the resulting accident only killed his mother and father. William vowed to his sister that he would get it right next time and started to hitchhike until one trucker stopped and gave him a ride. The trucker, named Al, gave William a job fixing cars in his demolition derby. One day Al was drunk and shot William in the arm, ranting about him listening to Calypso music. The next day Al apologized and gave William his own car and old helmet and christened him as Calypso. For 20 years Calypso participated in the demolition derbies. He then went to Las Vegas and married a woman named Joni and had a daughter named Krista. One night at the demolition derby, Joni was struck by a rogue tire, ending her. Calypso and Krista then lived out of suitcases in various motels. Calypso once left Krista asleep in the backseat of their car so he could drink at the bar. When he left, he saw his wife, who told him she was in hell and he should be too. He agreed, and she told him he would just need to close his eyes and let go of the wheel. Just before he crashed, Krista woke up and pushed her father, who had forgotten she was in the car. The crash ended them both, as well as burning Calypso's face and sent him to hell. In hell, Satan noticed that Calypso evaded a demon named Minion, who was after him. Impressed, Satan gave Calypso a drink that turned him into a human again with mystical powers. Calypso was told to host a demolition derby known as Twisted Metal and have the soul sent to hell. However, the winner of the tournament would be given one wish of anything they desire. 10 years later, suspicion was raised about Calypso and his tournament because he would twist the winner's wish that resulted in their demise. This prompted the CIA to investigate the tournament and attempt to arrest Calypso, but to no avail.
Congratulations!
Calypso makes his first appearance here with the live-action Lost Endings played by Charles L. Simcoe. He appears with red frizzy hair and sharp-dressed tuxedo. His voice is also deep and distorted than any other video game.
This is the prize you want in exchange for winning my contest?
He also sits on top of a throne of scrapped cars. He grants the winner's wish with no intended trickery, as their somewhat hilarious demise comes from their own naivety.
No! No! Ah!
Calypso returns looking like a villain in a Crimson Chin comic book. His hair is more sleeker with a mildly healed face and without his distorted voice. We start to notice his sadistic sense of humor start to unfold as he twists the winner's wish.
Please, Calypso, you gotta make me famous. Make it so the entire world knows my face.
Your wish is granted.
Hey, don't touch the face.
Nice. Oh, I can see all of them now. But then he looked around and realized he was thousands of feet above New York City, and his face felt odd. The driver of Spectre had gotten his wish. Now the entire world knew Ken's face.
He is also seen piloting a Zeppelin blimp for transportation. Calypso is seen with features similar to the last video game, albeit with a healed face. He still, however, has his personality of Twisted Metal 2. He continues to twist the wishes and remains flying his blimp.
Your wish is for people to see your inner child. Your wish is granted. Now you can show us your sensitive side.
But alas, some of the wishes make no sense, but as agreed, Calypso must grant whatever the victor desires.
Your wish is to stay home and watch your daytime TV. Your wish is granted. Too bad you can't change the channel.
Calypso brings in a protege this time. He starts to see great potential in a driver named Needles Kane. Needles has brought forth many souls for Calypso's Ring of Souls and wishes to be the star of Twisted Metal. It is granted, and as months and years go by, Calypso finds himself being dethroned by Needles and his clown posse. He is thrown out of the window and is subsequently missing. He intends to win the next tournament and get his ring and throne back. In his ending, Calypso wishes for just that, but Needles refuses to grant it. But Calypso knows he must obey the rules of the contest.
Anything I desire is the prize. I won, and I desire the ring. Hand it over.
He and Needles fight over the Ring of Souls, but all they manage to do is destroy the building and release the souls. We then see Calypso and Needles trapped inside the ring, fighting for its power for eternity. Calypso returns looking like The Rock and Vin Diesel had a child. He has become bald-headed, has a black glass eye, and scarring on his chest. For his wish-granting abilities, he seems to be more malevolent when the winner wishes for something violent. He gives the winner exactly what they want and even more.
Calypso had one more special prize for me. Dinner for one.
However, when confronted with a noble wish, he turns it on the winner in a twisted manner.
Calypso had done it. I never thought it could be like...
Units, target is knocked down. Target is still hot.
Now going by Billy Calypso, he is more comical and less violent. He kind of has a sense of Sid from Toy Story, but as an early 2000s punk rock kid, his mannerisms consist of stealing others' kids' lunch money and generally harassing others. He still hosts the Twisted Metal tournament, but as small toy remote control vehicles. His wish granting usually has twists of the winner getting the short end of the stick, either as a side effect of the winner's wish or of the winner trying to get revenge from being bullied.
You could have had anything you wanted. And all you can think of is a little ice cream? Let me down! Stop the car!
Calypso returns back to a sleek, suited, straight-haired figure, but also retaining the glass eye and bald head from Black. He also sits on a throne of car parts like the first Twisted Metal game, but now in a junkyard. Of course, his wish-granting methods remain the same, but we learn something new while granting Needles' wish.
I wish that you become me, and I become you.
Are you insane? I won't grant that wish.
I don't think you have a choice, Sunshine.
During the past games, we thought Calypso was a magical being and able to deny or grant any wish he desires. But now we see there is a higher being in control of Calypso who he knows he does not want to upset. Calypso continues to be the host of the Twisted Metal tournament. He is shown as the president of his own company, Calypso Industries, which is a possible cover-up for the tournament. He bears more resemblance to a Twisted Metal 3 rendition. There are only 3 characters he grants wishes for. For this year's Twisted Metal tournament, the winner is Sweet Tooth.
For my prize, I told Calypso to send me where she'd been all these years.
Your wish is granted.
Calypso places him where his daughter has been hiding for years, in her coffin. Sweet Tooth dies there, cursing Calypso and promises he will rise again. The next year, the winner is Mr. Grimm.
Send me back to save my father, Calypso.
Mr. Grimm, your wish is granted.
Calypso sends him back to save his father from dying in a horrible stunt gone wrong. Unfortunately, he's sent back as his older self in the backseat of his father's truck. His younger self and his father freak out, causing a car crash. As Mr. Grimm crawls on the ground, his child counterpart finds his father's gun and shoots him point blank, ending his life. At the next year's tournament, Dollface just wants her pretty mask off. As it turns out, Calypso had a part in putting the mask on her in the first place.
I'm sorry, I have no listing for a Dr. O'Spellick, is it? At that address or any other?
When she won the tournament, Dollface wants her lifelong dream to come true instead.
You put me on the world's biggest runway. You make me the center of attention, and then, baby, you watch me shine.
Your wish is granted.
And of course, Calypso takes her wish too seriously. Fun fact, Dollface's real name is Krista Sparks, the same as his daughter before he was killed. While the tournaments continue, a preacher is hell-bent on exposing Calypso in his twisted contest. But in the end, Calypso is able to trap the preacher, as well as others who oppose the tournament, in a hellish prison in the underworld. Calypso also visits Sweet Tooth in Sophie's gravesite, where he says he can't let her potential go to waste. He tosses a bag in the grave and raises Sophie back from the dead.
Welcome back, Sophie K. Are you ready to play?
As of the making of this video, 1 month ago there have been rumors of another Twisted Metal installment, as well as a live action series on Peacock. As for the game, there seems to be mentions of new mechanics being planned for it. The full article will be listed in the description. Well, that's the story of William Calypso Sparks for now. Thank you to all my channel subscribers and viewers. The channel is now just over 7,000 subscribers, and I enjoy everyone's engagement. If you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to stay up to date with my gameplays and future story videos. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video, and I thank you for playing Twisted Metal.